Day 3. The silence of the city is absolute, heavy, and suffocating. But today, a new sickening life begins to breathe in the dark corners of your home. It starts as a sour, heavy stench that you can almost taste in the back of your throat. It doesn't just hit your nose. It sticks to your clothes and invades your sanctuary. You have the canned food. You have the ammunition. But you forgot the one thing that has killed more soldiers throughout history than any bullet. Total lack of hygiene. The invisible, massive machines of our civilization have finally ground to a halt. Gravity is now your only master. And the city pipes? They are already dangerously full. You press the porcelain handle, desperately hoping for a miracle. One hollow, dying gurgle echoes through the room. And then, nothing but silence. The water is gone. Forever. You aren't alone in this concrete cage. Above you, hundreds of desperate neighbors are still flushing, still pushing the limit, unaware that the system below has already failed. Beneath the cold asphalt, the city's veins are literally exploding. A massive black tidal wave of waste is surging through the iron, searching for any way out. In this new world, gravity is a cruel judge. The waste has nowhere to go but backward. It's crawling up your pipes. It is coming to reclaim your home from the inside. Watch the drain. The black stagnant water is rising like a slow toxic tide. This is the exact moment your reality shatters. Your modern life is officially sinking. It's a biological ticking bomb, hidden right inside your bathroom. The question is no longer about comfort. It's about whether you will survive the air inside your own home. Without water to seal the S-trap, the ancient barrier is broken. The dark abyss of the city sewers is now wide open, venting directly into your kitchen and your bedroom. Methane, hydrogen sulfide, invisible ghosts of flammable gas fill your hallways while you sleep. One spark, one candle, and your sanctuary becomes a furnace in a heartbeat. The power grid didn't just take the lights when it died. It took our dignity. The pumps are dead. The treatment plants are silent. And the modern world is slowly drowning. This is a vertical nightmare. One floor floods, then the next, creating a waterfall of filth that no door can stop. There is no escaping the weight of 1,000 neighbors. Meet the new kings of the dead city, the flies. They carry millions of microscopic executioners on every single wing beat, searching for a surface to land on. It's the bridge of death. From the waste bucket, straight to your last loaf of bread, a journey that turns a simple meal into a final, lethal ritual. Cholera, typhoid, dysentery. These aren't just dry words in history books anymore. They are living shadows, waiting for you to make just one mistake with your hands. When the fever hits 104, you'll finally realize a hospital is just a dream from a world that no longer exists. You are your own doctor now. You reach for the soap, but there's only dry plastic and cold air. Outside, the looters have taken everything else. You are exposed, vulnerable, and completely alone with the germs. Stop. Take a breath. Panic will kill you faster than any bacteria. You need a protocol. You need the Draft&Survive system to keep your family alive. Rule number 1, the toilet is a trap. Tape it shut with the strongest adhesive you have. Consider it a tomb for the civilized life you used to know. You need 2 buckets, 2 completely separate worlds. One for liquids and one for solids. If they ever touch, you have already lost the battle against the stench. Mixing them creates a bioreactor, a toxic bubbling sludge that hums with bacteria and screams an invitation to every fly in the entire zip code. Dispose of your liquid waste with extreme care. Dilute it. Feed the earth far from your walls. Nature can process it out there. Your living room cannot. For the solids, use the thickest black bags you can find. Double them for safety. Your life is now measured in the strength of a few microns of plastic. Every single use requires a sacrifice of dry material. Sawdust, kitty litter, peat moss. You must bury the moisture deep beneath a layer of carbon. Layer it like a grim survival cake. Waste, then a heavy cover. If you can see it or smell it, you aren't doing it right. Keep adding the dry layers. Citric acid or garden lime. These are your chemical weapons in this war. Neutralize the pH before the microscopic army begins to multiply and take over. Twist the bag until the plastic screams. Use the duct tape like it's pure gold. An airtight seal is the only wall between your lungs and the rot. Wash your hands as if you're heading into a life-saving surgery. In the apocalypse, hygiene isn't a chore. It is your only armor against the invisible enemy. But what happens when the grids stay down for weeks? When your stash of industrial bags and cat litter finally runs dry? The shelves in the stores are now nothing but dust. Your old newspapers are now your primary tactical reserve. Shred them into long, thin strips. They are surprisingly effective at absorbing the moisture. That breeds the silent killers. You must turn to nature itself for reinforcements. Dry sand, fine wood shavings, even crushed, brittle leaves from the yard. The goal remains absolute. You must keep the waste dry. The gray ash from your survival fire is a potent alkaline weapon. It's a natural disinfectant that neutralizes acidity and kills the stench before it can alert the entire neighborhood. If you have no bags left, you must adapt. Coat the inside of your bucket with cooking oil or grease. It creates a barrier, preventing waste from sticking to the plastic. It's messy, but it works. If you have access to soil, you must dig a latrine. 1 meter deep, narrow, and far from your water source. The cat method. Cover every single deposit with thick, fresh earth. A lethal warning. Never, under any circumstances, mix household bleach with urine. It triggers a chemical reaction that releases chlorine gas. It will kill your family faster than any disease. Store your sealed, heavy-duty bags outside your living perimeter, on a high balcony or in a reinforced bin. You must keep the concentrated poison as far from your sleeping area as possible. In this new world, a simple roll of toilet paper will become more valuable than gold. It is a new currency. A single roll could potentially buy you a week's worth of life-saving food. The psychological barrier between a survivor and a victim is incredibly thin. Once you stop fighting to stay clean, your mind will begin to fracture. Discipline is your only true anchor. Look through the curtains at the street below. Your neighbors are already failing. Out of desperation or laziness, they are throwing bags of raw waste directly onto the hot asphalt. The apartment hallways are becoming thick with the scent of rot and decay. The air is no longer a friend. It is a carrier. Without a heavy mask, every breath is a calculated risk. Deep in the shadows of the building's basement, the rats are celebrating a dark victory. They have found a feast they've waited for since the dawn of the city. They are the new owners. The outbreak is no longer a theory. It is moving, floor by floor, house by house. It is a silent, invisible fire that consumes the weak without ever showing a single flickering flame. Dehydration is the ultimate, cold-blooded killer in a sanitation collapse. Your body loses fluids faster than you can ever find clean water to replace them. It is a race against your own thirst. Tension in the building is turning into raw, primal violence. Fights are breaking out over a single bucket of semi-clean water. Trust has been buried under the weight of the stench. Mosquito nets are no longer for luxury or comfort. They are your tactical shield against a winged army of infection. Every fly that touches your skin is a potential carrier of the end. You hold a tiny, precious scrap of soap in your shaking hands. In this ruined world, it is more valuable than every diamond, and every luxury car left, rotting in the city streets. You must learn to harvest the rain, not for drinking, but for the sacred ritual of washing. Every single drop you collect is a fresh chance to remain a human being in a world of beasts. Stay clean, stay disciplined, above all, stay alive. The world is watching through the darkness to see if you have the will to survive the collapse of civilization itself. Our civilization is nothing more than a thin, fragile layer of order. Beneath it lies a chaos that we spend our entire lives trying to ignore. Now, that chaos has finally reached the surface. The clock is ticking against you. With every passing hour of the blackout, the risk of a mass infection grows exponentially. Every second you spend unprepared is a second you lose. You can finally see the rot beneath the polished surface of your life. The city is peeling away like old paint. Reality itself is shifting into something far more ancient and far more dangerous. When you look in the cracked mirror, make sure you still see a survivor. One small cup of water for your face. One last act of defiance against the filth. One last chance to keep living. Buckets, heavy bags, absorbents, unbreakable discipline. This is your ultimate 4-point checklist for the end of the world as we know it. Do not skip a single step in the protocol. The suburban streets are hauntingly quiet now. The sound of a flushing toilet has become a distant, legendary memory from a golden age that is never coming back to us. Hold on to your personal dignity with everything you have. In the dark, it is the only armor that truly protects your soul from the encroaching rot and the shadows of despair. Draft and survive. We are here to teach you the brutal truth that the schools and the government never would. Our mission is simple. We want you to be prepared, instead of being scared. Subscribe now to join the resistance against the collapse. In a world without power, knowledge is the only currency that really matters. Stay with us. learn, prepare, survive the night. The black ink is spreading across the map. The darkness is coming for everyone who didn't listen. We've given you the tools. The rest is up to you. We'll see you on day 4.